that time again, guys. Another fight night coming up tomorrow. UFC on Fox 5, I believe. Let's just get straight to the point here. It's a really nice stacked card, main event card. It should be a lot of fun. Very interesting to see it. We got a lot of oldies but goodies coming back. A lot of legends and whatnot going against newcomers. So let's first start off with Mike Swick and Matt Brown. Matt Swick coming off of his win of DeMarcus Johnson, and then we know Matt Brown, who's lingering around that division. Pretty aggressive. Mike Swick, like I said, he's on the comeback. Had a long layoff from a sickness. In his last fight, I had him down, not really winning because of the ring rust and whatnot. But he showed me, as far as the ring rust goes. I mean, he had a little bit, but it was very minimal. Knocked DeMarcus Johnson out. Looks like he's back in phenomenal shape, and looks like he's back on a tear again against Matt Brown, who's the more aggressive type of fighter. Mike Swick isn't that aggressive, only when he sees blood in the water, so to say. He's more of a pick his shot type of fighter. Submission game is crazy, especially with the long limbs. So I'm going to have Mike Swick winning this one, second round submission. Then we have B.J. Penn versus Roy McDonald. As you guys know, if you watch my channel, I'm a huge B.J. Penn fan. So for me to do this, it's going to break my heart. I don't think BJ is going to win this one. He's been on the decline. He's fighting in welterweight. I think lightweight is the division that he should be in. I know it seems kind of cowardice to kind of go back to it since Frankie is no longer a champion and going down a weight class. But I think that's his true weight class, and he should have never went to welterweight to begin with. He's never going to fight GSP again. He can't beat GSP. And he's just going to be a lighter weight who is going to get pushed around by the bigger welterweights. And that's my opinion. And yes, you do have speed, but in this situation, I watched the interview with BJ, and BJ saying that he's never felt so great. He packed on muscle to actually get to the welterweight, and it wasn't just like he just ate, a whole bunch and carrying around a bunch of water weight to get to welterweight. But for me, everybody knows cardio is a big issue with BJ Penn, and packing on more muscle makes you tired quicker. Everyone knows that the blood, getting oxygen to your muscles and all that other stuff. It's just, if that's the case, he's going to get tired quicker, and he's already had a problem with cardio. But he's going against a guy, Roy McDonald, who is a younger guy, is on the tear, extremely young. I think he's like 22, 23, up-and-comer, just really on the tear. I don't really know his he's only had one loss, 14 wins. 6 by knockout, 6 by submission. I mean, it's a true test for BJ. And if he gets through this one, good for him. And hopefully he can continue to make, some good fights. But the thing is that in the end, he's not going to face GSP. It's just not going to happen, guys. He's not going to fight GSP. He couldn't even get past. And he couldn't even get past Nate Diaz, and it's not going to happen. So I have Roy McDonald winning this one by technical knockout. He's going to get in there and take BJ to the later rounds, and he's going to do some ground and pounding, and that'll be it for BJ. And hopefully he'll either retire or he'll make that trip back down to lightweight and do what BJ does, So on to the next fight, Shogun versus Alexander Gustafsson. Excuse me, I probably chopped the guy's name, but anyway, as you know, he's in a light heavyweight in contention. That's who I really would like to see John Jones go against, only because I believe he has the technique, and not only that, but he matches in length as far as reach and whatnot. I think he either may have a longer reach, I'm not sure. But I do know that it would be a good matchup for John Jones. But then again, like Alexander said, he believes that he needs to have a couple more fights before he even gets there. And I can definitely respect that. But then he's going to get Shogun, who we all know is a legend in mixed martial arts. And, you know, he's kind of on a down spiral, too, trying to get back up to the point to fight maybe Jon Jones again. But would that really be an interesting fight for us to see? Not really. Because Jon Jones has really demolished all of these guys that he's went against in, you know, no question fashion. It's not like it's been a close decision or a Dan Henderson versus Shogun where it was just so close and it was a battle. It's pretty much you get knocked out or submitted with Jon Jones, and that was it. So I really wouldn't be interested in seeing, you know, Shogun go against Jon Jones, but maybe he can just be, you know, a gatekeeper or to Jon Jones, or, you know, just put on some great exciting fights. And this what this is a great exciting fight. Even though I don't believe that he's going to win this one, because I think that Alexander is the younger fighter, the more driven fighter. He has the reach, which seems to be kind of the downfall of Shogun, I believe, in the fact that he had a hard time trying to get around the reach for Jon Jones. I believe he's going to have the same issue with Alexander. And Alexander's going to pick him apart, and he's just not going to be intimidated by his lineage and all his legendariness and all that other stuff. You know, Shogun, the pride champion and all that other stuff. He's just not going to roll over and succumb to that. He's going to really take it to him and provide and use his reach to his advantage. So I have Alexander winning this one by KO, third round. Then we have Ben Henderson versus Nate Diaz. Now, this is an exciting fight because you have Ben Henderson, who's a more of a wrestler type, and then you have Nate Diaz, who is more of a boxer, jiu-jitsu guy. Ben Henderson is the bigger guy. But my issue that I have with this is that the Diaz brothers in general have always had an issue with wrestlers. Wrestlers seems to be their biggest downfall. Even though they have the jiu-jitsu, it's just a good wrestler who can grind them out seems to always be a huge problem for them. And I don't think this will be any different. You have a bigger guy in Ben Henderson who is going to out-wrestle you because you really don't know that much wrestling, and just grind you out and pound on you with ground and pound. I don't think that Ben Henderson wants to stand up with Nate Diaz, only because, not because, you know, Nate hits hard or anything, but just the accumulation of damage he's going to take. Both of these guys have great cardio, but in the stand-up department, Nate Diaz will be able to outshine Ben Henderson in that department because he will keep moving forward and he will, you know, try to push Ben Henderson to strike back, to counterpunch. And that may be something that I hope Ben Henderson doesn't fall for, and he just takes him to the ground and do what he needs to do to grind out a win. And I don't think that is going to be a win in a fashion for Ben Henderson where he will, you know, get a submission or do a knockout. But I do believe he's going to hold Nate Diaz down for 5 rounds and get the decision. And of course, both of the brothers will be pissed off and say these stupid wrestlers and whatnot. But that's just the name of the game, and a lot of guys say why take damage when you can go after the guy's weakness and win easily. And in this situation, the weakness for the Diaz brothers guys is their wrestling. The wrestling, once they go against a good wrestler, it's all downhill from there. Just look at the history, man. Look at the history. So I'm excited to see all of these fights, man, and tell me what you guys think. Who do you think is going to win, whatnot, and I'll see you guys in a review. UFC on Fox 5. I'll review it right after the fight, and we can go there. As usual, guys, always comment, subscribe, and rate. It really helps out my channel, and I'll see you then. Peace.